can't calm down. Push you right inside of the storm now. Kick the sand up high in the playground. You look at me and say nothing, nothing again. But I can't deny this of the violence and the screaming. You fake a fall and start to call, make it an even fight. My hands on the candlelight. He said, come with a sharper, come with a sharper knife. Make me bleed tonight. Come with a sharper knife. Just enjoy the fight. Oh well, we're on the upside. We feel just fine till we backslide. A harmless twist of my necktie. So hold on tight, now we're at it again. But I can't deny this of the violence and the screaming. You fake a fall and start to call, make it an even fight. My hands on the candlelight. He said, come with a sharper, come with a sharper knife. Make me bleed tonight. Come with a sharper knife. Just enjoy the fight. Oh well.
You're fighting with me.
I can't speak the language. Please teach me the language. Yeah, you say that we don't need the language, and it hurts so bad.
We good?
Yep.
Yes. Oh god, I can't wait to get home. Been here for like 7 hours.
Oh, there's one more part.
There's one more part?
Yeah.
Do I sing in that part?
Nope. I mean,
Okay.
it's up to you.
know my name. You toil and tumble, you play your games, 'cause I know you don't have what it takes. I'll build an empire from your mistakes. I'll build an empire from your mistakes. So try your luck, give me all you got. Only need one shot. So come and get it, so come and get it. So try your luck, give me all you got. Only need one shot. So come and get it, so come and get it. So try your luck, so come and get it. Give me all you got, so come and get it. Only need one shot, so come and get it. So come and get it.
While the month of Pride might be over, but the Pride never ends here in Overwatch and in COWZA. So we'll keep marching on with the Pride Cup for another couple of days here. My name is San Phoenix, and I'm joined by Defect. And Defect, we kick off this week. First off, before we get anywhere, welcome back to the casting booth.
Thank
It's
you.
been,
Thank
it's been a
you.
little bit. What was it? 80K tournament 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I decided to leave it to the people who have actual talent. But
Oh, wow.
here,
Well,
here we are back at it.
we'll measure it today and see how talented you are or not. But we've got a banger of a match here today. Defect is, of course, G.O.A.T.S taking on 3 men, 2 socks. But the Pride Cup, if you're joining us for the first time here, this is our second weekend of tournament play. If you're not familiar with the Pride Cup, it's an annual tournament that COWZA puts on, pug style. So you and a mate or you by yourself join up. You get placed into teams, averaged out based on SR, and you play in what in this edition is 2 weekends of fun Overwatch. So we expect Defect to see a mix of different skill levels both within teams and throughout teams, but it tends to be relatively evenly balanced, I think.
Yeah, and it provides a great opportunity for the people who are like so new or still learning to pick up a lot of like tips and tricks from people who are, you know, old hat, who are grandmaster gamers. You know, have a lot to teach. And we've often seen that people who come into the tournament being silver, like 3 or 4 weeks later, are plat or something. So, a great opportunity.
Yeah, for sure, and for networking as well with your teammates, making some friends and getting yourself in with some high-level or even just mid-level players. But if we take a look at our rosters here, as I said, it is G.O.A.T.S taking on 3 men, 2 socks, 2 teams we'll have been very familiar with over the last couple of weeks, or the last weekend of play. And this is G.O.A.T.S, of course, Nyan, X-Dragons, Trizzle, Keo, and Yami. Maybe Defect Trizzle a standout on this team from last weekend.
Yes, absolutely. And no slouch on the tank, although it's not his typical main role. I'm interested to see that he's been favoring a lot of the tracking heroes, which complements his aim. You know, you won't see too many Winstons. You see more like Divas and Zaryas from his side.
Yeah.
So yeah, a real solid mid anchor for the team to build around. And also love to highlight Nyan, who is, I think he retired a bit ago doing Overwatch 1, but was a formidable tracer. Absolutely would control a whole lobby with just a little zippy zaps. So interested to see how he's shaken off the rust and returns to the 5-man Overwatch. I did take a quick peek and I see that he's been grinding a little bit again. 42 wins this season, so that's not nothing. It's shaking off the rust, sitting at mid-masters. So.
Yeah, and this team has been absolutely dominant thus far. I think topping the group without dropping. I think they only dropped 1 map, so they've been looking super strong. The team to beat coming out of the group stage. If we take a look at their opponents today, though, 3 men, 2 socks, of course, also topping their own group, I assume/believe. And they were looking pretty impressive. Toxin Socks, Kuragari, Jesse, Parasox, and Mo, of course, 2 socks. But the standout for me here is Jesse on the tank once again.
Yes, Jesse has been very impressive. Not a name I was familiar with before this tournament, but that might be just me not keeping track with all the teams. But really been very solid and surprisingly present in these games. The other two standout players, of course, being both the Sox, both Parasox and Tox Sox. Tox on an off roll playing DPS, but his Mei has been very formidable as well. Really cleaning up a lot of team fights and using their ults very well. So interested to see where this goes.
Yeah, should be very interesting. I think it's the tank matchup that's going to be fascinating here. From last time we watched Trizzle versus Blur in the GOATS versus LGBTQ times, I believe it was, and Blur actually said afterwards in the Twitch chat, and I mean there's some source on this for sure, but he was feeling like Trizzle had the better of him coming out of that match, by his own admission, and I think to dominate Blur in a tank v tank speaks volumes to Trizzle's prowess on that role. So absolutely it's an off hero, but like you say, Defect, he kind of works his skill set into the heroes he plays. So you mentioned Diva Zarya, and he's been leading a ton on the Orisa and the Junker Queen as well. So also heroes that you would expect a DPS player to excel at on that role. So that for me, I think is going to be a key matchup here as we see things unfold on starting with Nepal.
Yes, absolutely. This tank v tank is going to put a lot of pressure on JC to see how he holds up against one of the most unrelenting players in the scene. And it also speaks volumes to Trizzle's game knowledge that he can transfer role and still perform at extreme.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's sad, right? Because I don't know about you, Defect, but I've been queuing a lot of all three different roles, and some of my roles are better than my others, and I will say tank is probably the hardest role to solo on, and so I think it's something to bear in mind as well. With the Pug's nature of this tournament, it's actually very hard to perform on tank a lot of the time, because tank, in my opinion, is the role that relies most on your teammates. You need your healers to be on form, keeping you healthy, and you can play as aggressive as you need to make space, but otherwise your DPS also need to be contributing, otherwise you can end up just standing in the middle of doing nowhere. But as we see things get started here on Nepal Sanctum, what's your prediction before we get started here, Defect? Who do you think's going to win?
I can't speak to the winning yet, but I'm hoping to see a lot of Roadhog here. He's been buffed a little bit recently, and he's been like a surprise pocket pick. And the hook with the shorter cooldown has been quite a menace on these pit maps. Once again, back like Overwatch 1, don't go near the well hook levels.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can see something like that, although speaking too soon, it's Junker Queen and Orisa on the side.
Yeah, this is pretty typical of what we've been seeing so far. JC has really excelled on the Orisa, I have to say. It's been probably his standout hero. Choose on the Junker Queen in the way, and then we've got Mei, we've got the Symmetra, we'll be sticking on that for Kuragari, and then we've got both teams running the Kiriko, Parasox on the Ana versus the Lucio. So Yami, maybe she's going to be looking to get those environmental kills and keep the team moving nice and quick here as we start things off. A lot of damage coming through onto 3-man 2 Sox. Mole dropping a little bit low here, but as you can see, it can be a difficult position, difficult role to play here for Orisa against Junker Queen. You can kind of get run down, take a lot of damage. You have to be a little careful. Point has unlocked, but neither team looking to move in that direction just yet. They want to secure the team fight win. Not able to do so just yet. Tops dropping low on the Bastion. Not going to go down just yet, but a bit of a stalemate to start off here, Defect. Both teams just kind of picking away at each other.
Yeah, 9 on the Tracer. They're looking to get create some kind of opportunity for his team. The big wall coming out, followed up by a nade.
Oh man.
Well, there's the opportunity.
Yeah, you just blink away for a while, you build up a pulse bomb and you secure that. But it was all set up really by X-Dragon's Mei wall there, I think. Jesse moving forward, looking to get something done, but he ends up getting blocked off, and then the team just gets blown up in the backline. So we highlighted Nyan in the backline Defect, the Tracer especially, and immediately pays off.
Oh, absolutely. You can see he's one of the standout players here. He basically created that whole team fight on his own. And, it's working for them. You have to deal. I see the Cassidy coming out now instead of the Sim. You have to deal with that Tracer on the flank.
Oh, there we go. Nice wall in the other direction. You mentioned Toxin Socks in the Mei as well, and immediately that pays off in turn. So now they can look to move forward. A good anti-heal onto the Junker Queen. The point has been taken, of course, so the longer this fight takes, the better it is. But a nice May wall again from Toxin Socks. I think they've just bailed. Yeah, Jesse.
Helicopter Orisa.
Yeah, forces Trizzle off the map here. Parasox finds Kyo, and now they can move towards point. I mean, maybe she will rather get a return kill, but it's not likely to contribute much, and gets a spear in the midsection for good measure. Nyan gets another ulti off a nice spear again from Jesse, followed up a headshot. They will flip the point now. The May wall to keep Dragons healthy and back out, but a lot of ults available for both teams here, Defect. This could be an explosive team fight.
Yes, absolutely, and I'm looking to see the dueling Kiriko ults here being sort of the key to this upcoming fight. Obviously followed up by the May ult.
Oh no, Kurigari takes his own life there, presumably with the grenade now. They move forward though. Parasox has gone down, so losing a couple of players, 3 men, 2 socks. They are still in control of the point. The Blizzard though should seal the deal. They pick off Mole, they move forward onto point. Jesse put in the corner and taken to the glue factory. And that's going to be that. G.O.A.T.S back in control.
Unfortunately, a lot of ults spent here by the 3 men, 2 socks as they're trying to hold on to that point, and there's still a couple in the bank for the G.O.A.T.S.
Yeah, still plenty to work with here. Rampage, a big one, and you mentioned the dueling Kitsune rushes, but no, just the one came out, and it's the one that lost the fight, so now they've got it ready to go for the next fight here. 3 men, 2 socks. Oh, nice. No, not block, I guess, and everyone anti-healed up. Trizzle, the man with a plan, the Dommy Mommy, as Dreamer likes to call her, punishing the side of 3 men, 2 socks, and struggling to find a rhythm a little bit here, Defect, on Nepal.
Yeah, this is now a retreating fight, just trying not to get too many more losses before they stage for that last fight. And pick here from the side of G.O.A.T.S could be the end of the match.
Oh, but it's a pick for 3 men, 2 socks. But can they get the touch on point? It seems unlikely. This man right here, Kurigari, wondering on, he gets on with the roll just in the nick of time. And they're in control of the fight as well. So this is pretty good for them. They can look to set up here for defense. They'll get the cap. They need to just clean up here. But yeah, he's going to beat a hasty retreat here. Jesse not quick enough to catch up to the Zippy Tracer. The ICBM won't find him here. And they will just look to set up 3 men, 2 socks.
Yeah, and now no ults in the bank for either team besides that Orisa ult, which with the May can be quite deadly for either team. The walling off, preventing escapes.
Oh, there it is, the wall off. She's all by herself here. Jesse, the hero, is she not the man, I assume, as they look to move back now. He does find Kyo, so very well played. Toxin Sock's going to pick off his opposite number as well. So this is a good recovery here so far from 3 men, 2 socks. They were struggling to find their rhythm, but that desperate team fight into overtime kind of settled them a little bit here. But they will be fighting now into a couple of ults.
Yeah, and it sets the stage for a very explosive last fight of the map as we're approaching the 80s on the ticking here. Again, the support ults being quite key, I feel like, in this upcoming fight.
Oh, immediately Yami maybe goes down though, so that's one support ult that will not be forthcoming here. Moira, the invisible beam here, the worst kind of beam. There's a blizzard on point though, and Dragons will find one. Not going to go down for the time being. Dropping low, does have the ice block to keep himself healthy. Moira as well dropping low. The pulse bomb goes down. Moira zips back into it, and here's the sound barrier back. And oh no, Mole pooped off. Yami maybe to the rescue, but is it enough? It doesn't look like it will be. Pushed off point here, dropping low, taken down, but the other support back in. Great wall from Tox once again. Will get back around, booped off the map. Jesse asserting himself on the point here, has the ulti as well. Orisa is the helicopter, and she will fly her team into a map 1 victory.
Very impressed with Jesse's Orisa play, especially, you know, we've just hyped up Trizzle being such a formidable and dangerous tank to go against. There's so many times where the Orisa somehow was the only surviving to escape a lost fight, which, you know, if your main job as a tank is to stay alive, then mission accomplished.
Yeah, true. Although in my comp games, they always moan that I'm not making enough space. So, you know, you win some, you lose some, pros and cons. But taking a look at the compositions here for the next map, Defect, what stands out to you?
The first pick is the Ramatra coming out on Trizzle's side, and then Jesse swapping over to the Junker Queen, which is a role reversal I wasn't expecting to see.
Yeah, Drizzle has been absolutely dominant on the rematch. It's not one we mentioned coming into it, but it is one that he absolutely can stomp on. And when that annihilation comes out, it just feels unkillable. So we'll have to see whether three men, two socks can stand up to the task as they did on Sanctum as we move forward into this map, which has a different name, which nobody
Shrine.
knows. Shrine, there we go. We're moving forward. Tox dropping low here, has to use the ice block earlier, and Parasox will go down, and yeah, immediately Drizzle with the fists out, punching away here, uncontested on the front line, back line dropping for 3 men, 2 socks, and it's just a matter of cleaning things up here for Goats as they look to get control here. Already have capped the point and to heal out, and yeah, Jesse will drop, so immediately again Goats come out on top to start us off.
Yeah, and if you look at those DPS ult charges, one stands head and shoulders above the other 3, and it's Nyan on the Tracer, cleaning up that fight like a Roomba.
A little bit more damaging than a Roomba, although she has a Roomba that she throws out, I guess. 90% towards that ultimate, as you said here. Kind of a hard one to push through to, and Trizzle on the Ramatra also 72% up towards his ulti now as they come around the right-hand side. Sneaky Tracer in the backline, yeah, as you say, 95%. Will just pop some damage down the anti-heal, and immediately look at the tracking. So much damage. He plants that on the wall as a warning shot. That was all planned. It's all the mental game. The effect here is Nyan looks to help his team clean up, but it's the Ramatra on the front line. Trizzle looking to do the damage here. The slow Kiriko going to be taken down here. It's just a matter of time. You'd have to think, no, managed to escape for the time being. No, eventually we'll get flexed on there by Trizzle once again here. Kurigari on the high ground. They're committing ultimates to this. They think there's something to be said for this team fight. Nice work. A nice blizzard from Toxin Socks. Going to secure a couple of kills. Trizzle on the front line. Nano boosted. Annihilation. But he can just move forward here. This is a terrifying thing to bear witness to if you're on the enemy team. Drizzle moving forward. Taking a lot of damage here. Rampage comes through as well. So anti-healed up now. Moving on to the point. Junker Queen gonna find one. Jesse on the point looking for more. Not gonna find anything, but does have an ultimate in the form of the Moira on its back. So a long drawn out team fight. But at the end of it all, 3 men, 2 socks make the right call by throwing ultimates into that one and securing the team fight win.
Absolutely, and they use almost everything except the CAS ult, which is going to run into quite a few ults from the side of Goats. It's going to be quite a difficult fight to try and manage. Perhaps if they can use the CAS ult to gain a lot of space and by extension ult charge, they can maybe even it out, but they have their work cut out for them in a hard rush here.
Yeah, they're moving forward very aggressively here. Oh, the nade goes down. He's going to take a lot of damage. The ultimate goes down, and nice Suzu.
Nice cleanse.
Going to keep them healthy, but not healthy enough for Jesse, as he will go down, and Trizzle, the main man on the front line, doing damage. Tox will find Yan. That's a huge pick, but he's isolated all by himself. They're going to back up here and look to get one more team fight in with only 10% left in the clock. Sleeping on the front line won't get taken down, and this might be the right call, but it's going to be a desperate push for 3 men, 2 socks.
Yeah, Jesse swapping over to the ball there to make the touch happen and get like that overtime touch fight.
He will do so right now. CAS ult comes out the wall. Not up quickly enough. Dragons will pay with his life, but Drizzle on the front. The big angry man causing suffering for all. He's not happy with how game 1 went, or map 1 went. And he's going to look to secure the map 2 victory here on Shrine as Goats firmly in control of this team fight, slept up, booped off, and 3 men, 2 socks. Back to the drawing board to them as we head into the 3rd map, which is Village.
Absolutely, and really impressed by the Ramatra here, especially against the Junker Queen. When the rush comes in, you can just pop your, big boy form, swole form. And that's enough to sort of repel a lot of that early rush. And stabilize with your support. So very well played, well decided composition usage there from.
Yeah, credit where it's due as well to Tox on the May. A couple of great walls we've seen throughout this match so far. Also finding a key headshot on at least one occasion onto Nyan. So that Nyan has to kind of play around it, be careful. But he's going to be on the Junk Rat now. God, we see so much Junker Queen. I can't even remember what the original guy's called.
And Junker King next, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Although maybe Roadhog is Junker King. He feels like
we can only hope.
Yeah.
I agree. He's a king in my heart.
We do see the pharmacy though. That can be an absolute mess to deal with here, and immediately finding pay dirt as Jesse dropped. Parasox had already dropped, so the team fight pretty much done and dusted. Once again, Defect Goats setting the tone here to start us off on Village.
Yeah, and I feel like one of these, sometimes these first fights are, oh, our matchup didn't mesh well, let's swap. And
Yeah.
we've seen that a couple of times in 3-man 2 socks where they're like, they swap 2 or 3 heroes after the first fight, case in point. And it's paid off for them quite well.
Yeah, it absolutely has. Toxin Socks helps find the kill onto Yami, maybe the best kill to get. The pharmacy now out of the sky. Nyan taken down by Mole, so immediate clapback. Going to be coming out here from 3-man 2 socks. They just need to get onto point and cap it now. They have lost Trizzle. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Almost gets the remake up. The grenade going to prevent him from squishing everybody in the AO. But 3-man 2 socks now in control, and this is a lot better than we saw on any of the other 2 maps.
Yes, it's been strangely low ult charge. I don't think we've seen a single ult. Am I incorrect?
So far this map, yeah.
Yeah, and I know there has been a couple of swaps, but with the changes of you keeping some of your ult charge, this is going into fight 3 with not a single Q button pressed.
Oh, Trizzle immediately gets taken down, but Mo will pay with his life now, so limited healing, more limited than usual. Trizzle though with the Bunny Blaster, he's more dangerous with it than he is in the big bad mecha. He will find 1 kill. Nyan will pick up another. No healers alive now on 3-man 2 socks. I think you just got to get to the point now. Keep it up for as long as you can. They're going to throw in the self-destruct. I don't think Dragons realized the Diva's not in there anymore. He will not go down, thankfully. Tox will instead get killed by the Pulse Bomb, and point has now flipped, so G.O.A.T.S not happy with how Team Fight 2 went. Will clap back in Teamfight 3 with a dominating performance. Self-destruct over the top. Will it find anything? Not on this occasion.
Yeah, but Jesse still mechless is going to delay this next fight quite a bit.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Slowly building up a lot of ults to work with, Defect.
Yeah, and especially that Sombra ult. Sombra is already in position, having a lot of time to set up. Big hack on the Diva.
Very nice hack on the Diva, but no one in position really take advantage of that. Slept up as well. Trizzle just kind of vacuuming in all the CC here, but look at the damage over the top. So much pressure being put on by the Sparrow, but Mole will drop first here. Press Q to die from extra Evans. He will go down, but there is forthcoming, and 3-man 2 socks.
Big hack.
Struggling here. Oh, not going to be able to get that back cap here. Having to get out. Will get taken down, and he might be... no, we haven't played against Diva for so long. Okay, good. They are.
I haven't seen a stagger in a while.
Yeah.
Good for my heart.
Yeah. As a Diva player, a guy who loves playing Diva, it's sad to see the stagger, but we don't see it that often anymore. It's like going back to the good old days of Overwatch 1, where there were 6 heroes, there were off tanks, and there were no microtransactions. Anyways, we do come now onto the last team fight potentially. 3-man 2 socks. High Noon comes out. Kurigari is not finding any of the circles, getting smaller, drops down. He will find 1. The Pharaoh goes down. Can they get on top of the Mercy and prevent the res? It does look like that's Tox's plan now, as there is pressure on the point as well. The point will flip, so G.O.A.T.S losing control of proceedings in this team fight. Under pressure though, Nyan, he's looking to get these supports down, doing so much damage. Honor versus Tracer. Tracer comes out on top, but it gets immediately rolled over here by the wrecking ball in more ways than one. Not just the hero's name, also a way of life here as Jesse versus Trizzle. This was an important matchup, and it looks like for the moment Jesse gets the better of it. He's coming back in low HP. The backup is here though for Trizzle, the baby Diva. We've seen how dangerous he can be with the Bunny Blaster, and he will in fact contribute to Jesse going down. The pharmacy is back though on the point will not flip, just barely not. Yes, will flip now. Trizzle goes down, gets rest up though, so it's going to be rough, but nice work from Kurigari. He takes down Yami, maybe out of position there. Point is still being contested here. They have to get on, but they're losing players one by one. Jesse is back, but he is last man standing here on Nepal. G.O.A.T.S, a slow-ish start for them on Sanctum, but Village and Shrine have been totally dominant for them, and they will take game 1.
Absolutely well played there from the G.O.A.T.S, living up to the name in this case. So far, the standouts has been the tank matchup and Nyan.
Yeah.
Watching Nyan just setting up in the back and then like creating opportunities for the rest of his team
Look at
has
that tracking.
been.
Jesus Christ. Jesus.
Man,
That makes me sick. That's
a good
gross. That's gross, man. I don't even think my old body is capable of tracking like that.
I'm turning 30 this year as well, and that gives me
Jesus Christ.
flashbacks. Giving me flashbacks to when I was top 500 in Tracer in season 5, something like that. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not playing. I'll put it that way, because I definitely wouldn't be able to handle getting absolutely rinsed by a Tracer in the backline all the time. But look, that is GOATS in a nutshell, right? That is how they operate. You've got Trizzle dominating on the front line. You've got Neon kind of sneaking around the backline and just pumping out tons and tons of damage on the Tracer. So I think the key for me, Defect, might be shut down one of those two key players. Shut down Trizzle or prevent Neon from finding value on the Tracer. If you can do either one of these, that might be what you need to unlock this team. But 3-man 2 Socks showed me enough here, I think, that we could have a game on our hands.
Yeah, my biggest concern from 3-man 2 Socks is like lack of capitalization on big ult fights. We see a couple of times where, for example, the EMP or their Mei ults, where they use 3 or 4 ults and then still somehow lose. And GOATS still having 2 ults in the bank after the fight's over. Ults that they had coming into that fight.
Yeah.
So maybe a bit more coordination or efficiency. I don't know if they're like setting them up or communicating them correctly. But yeah, hopefully if they can sort of iron that out as well. And like you said, put pressure on the 2 key players here on the side of GOAT. They can put it in. But overall, I'm liking what I'm seeing from both teams. 3-man 2 Socks is nothing to snuff at. They are definitely pulling their weight, especially Jesse.
Yeah. Honestly, I said this I think last time I was casting with Davin, but this is one of my favorite things about Pride Cup is these players where you're like, I've never heard of this guy before. If he was playing, he wasn't playing, on one of the top 5 teams, So to see a player like this, if I'm a person making a team, I'm like, if this dude is interested, I want to get him on my squad. I want to put him in a competitive environment and see how he fares, because he's shown up here in a huge way, and that's one of the most exciting things about Pride Cup for me. It will be Hollywood up next year, Defect. Based on the playstyles we've seen, you favor either of these teams? It's a bit early to say, perhaps, but what is your sense so far?
A bit early to say. I know that Tracer would be very good on point 1, but on point 2, with that lot of high ground, it's often difficult to set up and get those like sneaky back attacks and flanks in. So maybe we'll see something else, maybe like a Widow. I know that it's part of his repertoire. But who knows? You mean Tracer is the most flexible hero in the game, and you can make it work anywhere. If you sneak up onto an elevator, you can push the high ground as well. I also did a quick casual profile stalk for Jesse, and I did see he is GM on all roles.
Okay.
So, that does explain.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. What is Trizzle on tag? For interested.
We can check.
As I said, it's Hollywood. This is a best of 5, just a reminder. So plenty of time here for 3-man 2 Socks to find a rhythm, and it does feel like Defect, as you said to start us off, compositional mismatches have been not favoring the 3-man 2 Socks squad. It's really been GOATS coming out with that winning composition. It feels like on Nepal in each of those maps. So be interesting to see. Of course, that's not as big a deal now on the following maps. Control is a special map type where the first team fight really sets the tone for the rest of the map.
Yes. There is a bit more, I feel, like rock, paper, scissors in Overwatch 2. So maybe we do see swapping out being more efficient, especially with the alt charge retention. You can take a bad first fight and then swap over, excuse me, and keep your last alt charge or the alt charge you had built. So seeing a Diva, one of my personal favorites, rolling out on defense, which I do enjoy, especially on point 2, but is pretty solid on point 1 as well.
Yeah. We see Jesse on the ball here as well.
The ball Sombra can be a very deadly combination, because the ball can do a lot of disruption while the Sombra sets up and then capitalizes off, a big pile driver or anyone who's gotten low. So and there are both very high ranked players who know this. So hopefully we can see a bit of a duoing in the back line.
So Tracer Winston of Overwatch 2 in some ways.
the Zoom auntie of
That like literally that's exactly what popped into my head when you start talking about that. And Tox will open up with a kill onto the Pharah. That's a great start, but Rez will come in just not in time, Jesse, but he will find the kill instead. Will get elevated up onto the high ground and immediately finding picks. So 3 men 2 socks here, coming in swinging as they look to take the first point here on Hollywood. Good anti-heal on point. There's a baby diva on the high ground. Deal with that before she becomes an adult diva here. Hacked up, and Jesse will get up on there and deal with that pesky Trizzle diva. And that will be that. Jesse once again coming in clutch for 3 men 2 socks. But Tox coming in with some big initial pick as well.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe this compositional mismatch is in the other direction this time.
Yeah.
Where 3 men, I feel like, have a bit of the edge. I don't think a Pharah is particularly well suited to deal with the ball. And then the other... That was a good sticky.
Yeah, very nice work from Kurigari here as the pressure builds once again. See Trizzle
flying too high.
Oh, Yami maybe caught out there now, with the pharmacy going down. Just going to back up. Good discipline here from G.O.A.T.S.
Yeah. Definitely capitalizing on these like staggered fights and just delaying what the next proper team fight will be like. And as I say that, here goes the Tox and JC combo just to cause more chaos in the backlines.
God, this Pharah is having such a hard time. You're hacked up every time. Now under pressure here. JC dropping low. Will have to use the adaptive shields to get out, but that's what they're for. Stuck up on the front line. Kurigari taken out immediately. Pharah going to be a little bit more free to play now, but JC in the back line here. He's got the minefield. He's going to put the pressure on the Pharah. Won't go down just yet. Jan, meanwhile, in the back line, finding one, finding two. Both healers going down to the main man on the Tracer. And that is going to be that. 3 men 2 socks scuppered here on their push through streets.
Yep, it creates an opportunity with the pulse bomb, and then the team just clean up. Oh, fishing for some kills, let's see.
I didn't quite get it over the top there. Jesse going to move forward here. Pile driver into the squishy center of the GOAT squad. Not going to find anything here. 3 men 2 socks. A few ults to work with now. Oh, Kurigari on the Widowmaker finds the pick he was looking for. Mercy dropping down. Won't get the res off. So bad to worse here for the GOAT squad now as Jesse pressuring on the high ground. He wants to take down the opposite tank here. Won't find him just yet now. He's going to look. He's not happy with letting him get out here. It looks like Trizzle might be able to get the remake out. EMP over the top. Finds a couple here. The remake does manage to come out. So Trizzle back up to a full fighting shape. And with the respawns coming too, GOATs can look to get set up once again, and in fact Parasox will go down, but Kurigari finds a headshot onto the Tracer. That's not something you see every day here. Brigitte on point though, isolated, taken down. Trizzle gonna be the benefactor of that, but Jesse, he's doing work in the enemy backline here. Kurigari finds the body shot onto the Widowmaker, finds a headshot onto the Pharah, but no damage follow up, unfortunately for him. Cleanup though finally will come through. Kia goes down, Dragons goes down, so Kurigari here coming in clutch with the Widowmaker, I think, defect the key pick, but it's not helping them win this team fight just yet. Will be ongoing here. Diva looking to move forward. The pulse bomb. Who else but Nyan will find the pick that puts it over the edge here for 3 men 2 for GOATs.
Strange how high the fight win percentage is for that pulse bomb. I think I've seen one with and I think they still won that fight, even though they missed the stick. They've just been brutal. They're absolutely unavoidable. And perhaps swapping to a hero that can deal with it, like a BAP or a Kiriko, is needed.
Yeah, maybe. As Jesse moves up onto the high ground here, Pile Driver will put a lot of damage in. Kurigari not finding the angle, taking a nap here, Jesse. Now's not the time for that. The GM players should know better. But meanwhile, Rocket Barrage, the rain comes down onto the supports here, so no healing left for the side of 3 men 2 socks. Jesse believes it's still winnable though in spite of that, but he's losing teammates. The res will come out onto Keo, so the one pick they have gotten will be removed here. So 3 men 2 socks gonna have to back up here. Still plenty of time to secure the streets phase, but GOAT, they've become entrenched here on the second point.
Yeah, and then they're keeping a ult advantage as well, or at least a better ult utilization. But that said, the big ults are coming online, so let's watch how this EMP fares.
The biggest ult of all, the pulse bomb Going to be thrown down here. Not going to find anything, unfortunately. Nyan just putting on pressure from the high ground. Chisel hacked up, dropping low. Won't get taken down just yet. There's Nyan, though, in the backline. Finding picks. The nano boosted Farah in the sky. Going to find more. Jesse finds the support in the backline, but he's going to have to camp the body. No healers left, though, for the side of 3 men, 2 socks. The backline getting absolutely humbled here by this GOAT's aggressive play, and it's just been Nyan dominating on the backline. The damage over the top from Farah as well. So hard to deal with.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the Brig is doing enough to repel the attack from Nyan. I don't know if it's a range issue or Nyan is just that good, but perhaps time for a swap. Maybe again the Kiriko or something, but just something that was less scared of a long distance race.
Yeah, JC will open up here. That's a key pick. Oh god, Kuragari in the corner with no help, and Drizzle bearing down on him. They're on the card though, 3 men, 2 socks, but that might not be good. With the self-destruct over the top, doesn't find anything, but Nyan will find Mole, so that Tracer matchup once again going in favor of Nyan, but ball in there with the mines, finds a kill, finds another here, one support going down. They need to kill this Mercy, will do so once again. Tox and Nyan, or Tox and Jesse rather, coming in clutch for the team here. Jesse dropping low though. If they take him down, that might be exactly what they need to secure the team fight win here for the side of GOATS. But 3 men, 2 socks are coming back in here. Hearing Widowmaker shots, not finding anything so far. But Nyan, who else but Nyan once again? Finding kill after kill after kill. If you get anything close to low HP, Nyan will find you, track you down, and put you out of your misery here as Widowmaker will get dropped. Nyan will finish it off as he started it off here, and GOATS will secure the team fight win, but 3 men, 2 socks have given themselves plenty to work with here.
Yeah, this is very much defensible. It's a respectable distance. There were a couple of times when a lot of their push came from them sneaking the point while the team fight was active, which a valid strategy, honestly, especially when the card starts approaching the objective as it did. You are forcing the enemy team, the defending team, to back off and actually play point instead of using all the space available to them. So,
yeah, pretty rough for 3 men, 2 socks, but they started off in the best way, right? And their composition kind of executed perfectly in that first team fight. Jesse going through, Tox fighting the opening pick, and just kind of moving from there. But it did feel a lot like you mentioned it coming out of map 1, the kind of ult fights, not seeming to be executed as well for 3 men, 2 socks as it has been for GOATS so far. You know, Pulse Bomb aside, even GOATS have looked a bit better when using ultimates.
Yeah, I don't know. There's been quite a few questionable, even from the high rank players like JC, where they use ults after there's only 2 of them. It's a 2v5, and they'll use an ult and then immediately back off after it doesn't get anyone, or even while it's being deployed. So but hopefully they can sort of straighten out when those are appropriate to use and implement them more effectively.
Absolutely. Toxie's going to go into the Torbjorn now. A great pick to deal with Nyan's Tracer, but is Nyan playing Tracer? No, he's playing Widowmaker. They're probably one of the best counters to Torbjorn on paper. So we'll look to find a pick here. We'll find shots. Won't find any kills though just yet. A little bit slow to start here, but as I say that, of course, he finds the Torbjorn. Jesse, though, will get in the backline there, and we'll find both DPS here, Kuragari and Jesse each, and Yami goes for the res, gets the res, pays with her life, and that is not a trade worth making, but might be enough to secure the team fight win here. No, a flurry of picks here for 3 men, 2 socks will secure the first point hold in this first team fight as Drizzle looks to do some damage with the Binding Blast, but will get taken down in the end.
Yeah, Kuragari really showing up on the Ashe here.
Yeah.
It's becoming like sort of a watchtower, like a point of fire where they had to dive it, and when they did, they were unsuccessfully peeled. So just hard to fight into.
We mentioned actually how getting Drizzle off the Tracer might be the key to victory. We might be seeing that play out here, although getting him off it versus him getting himself off the Tracer might be what's not paying off for GOATS here. As Kuragari, though, he showed up, as you said. He finds one pick. He's going to demake Drizzle on the Diva as well. Now there's bombs. Where do you go? Stuck in the corner. Everybody, fish in a barrel there. And,
yeah, that was very much the teacher putting you in timeout.
Oh, man.
Stand in the corner.
Fishing with dynamite there.
That was brutal. Zones, all the squishy heroes as well. That was very sad.
Yeah, coming to this next fight though, they've got Bob. There has been a compositional change here. Nyan back on the Tracer. Who would have thunk it? Whoever could have predicted that coming to bear here? But Kuragari under pressure here. Where's Nyan? You just know he's coming. You just know he's coming. And there he is. He comes in. He gets onto the Mercy. Not finding the picks just yet. Good peel from 3 men 2 socks to keep the backline alive here. Trizzle under pressure. He's got that self-destruct. The Bob will go out now more as a defensive measure than to secure kills. Nyan dropping low. Won't get taken down. Diva will get D-mech here. A lot of damage coming through. Bob executes Dragons, but the res will come through. They're losing players on the backline. The Trizzle and Nyan hooking up very effectively there. Two players who play together so well, who've known each other and played together for so long, hooking up. But it's not going to help them win this team fight, at least not yet. They're under pressure now as Yami maybe will drop, and that should be that. We'll have to beat a hasty retreat here. And 3 men 2 socks, they found something here. You feel like if they can hold them here in this team fight, they can win the map.
Don't want to jinx anything, but the team fights have been much better looking than the previous matchup. And they have quite a bank of ults to work with as well, which is always good.
They're going to start.
Torbjorn really paying dividends against the Tracer.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh no! Trizzle gets 2 with the bomb, 1 with the remake. Absolutely dominating in this team fight, putting the team on his back, and his team's not even really that heavy. They've been showing up, but he's the one on this occasion that will push them through to this team fight win and the 0.1 cap. Oh, Jesse, though, he's got something to say about it. He comes in with the pile driver. This feels like an unnecessary risk. They pop the Valk as well. Not going to fight anything. That is a total disaster defect.
Yeah, it's again the ult usage in very desperate situations. Perhaps it's frustration if you're a very high-level player and you're, losing a fight. You feel that you're some responsibility to try and clutch it.
Yeah, it's definitely possible, but
I like this defensive setup a lot as well.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Oh
be
my
hard to
goodness. Sorry, Kuragari just popping shot after shot onto the Pharah, and Pharah will actually find her own way into the grave there without much input from anybody else. The pressure coming through though. They've traded Kiriko's here, so who does that favor? They get the res off and they find the Mercy, so 3 men 2 socks. This is perfect for them. Nyan dropping low, only gets half HP from the recall, and Jesse says, get back here, boy. I'm not finished with you. And 3 men 2 socks, they're not finished with this match just yet. They're looking to get set up on second point, just like we saw G.O.A.T.S do on their attack.
Yes, and it was a very distant from the point team fight that that G.O.A.T.S took without pushing card at all, just leaving no one behind. So that whole fight they could have been getting progress and they just didn't.
Speaking of not getting progress, the minefield going to prevent progress now, as you see here, just having to play Minesweeper. X-Dragons gets booped forward, the ultimate will go forward, will find just the turret on this occasion. Dragons has dropped, the Molten Core being such a menace for the 3 men 2, or rather the G.O.A.T.S backline here. Jesse dropping low, he wants that kill on the Mercy, he needs to be careful, he's dropping low. Adaptive Shield will keep him relatively healthy, 88 HP, and the Mega will set him up nicely. He's going to even elevate it up to the high ground here. Oh no, he's left Mole though in a bit of a bind here, but good peel. No, will get taken down. The rain will come, but it's rescue to die as Kuragari finds the kill onto X-Dragons here, but great work from G.O.A.T.S. They just move forward over the bodies. They roll through the 3 men 2 sock side, and they look to get set up on the enemy high ground. Pick off the pick. Plenty of time to mount a defense here, defect, but that is just what G.O.A.T.S needed to break 3 men 2 sock's momentum.
Yeah, force a reset and just get some card progress. Still good fight and a half in the progress bank left, and 40 seconds to win those two. So.
Oh, self-destruct over the top here. We'll find Mole, and this is becoming a bit of a disaster here. Jesse, though, on the point. The res will probably come through here, but he's trying to get the block. He will get the ultimate down. Minefield's not armed quickly enough. We'll get one off onto the Farah, but she's healed up now. Here comes Bob into the corner in a pretty good spot here, putting the pressure on. Will actually take down X-Dragons as well, but immediately dealt with good work, good focus fire onto the Bob from the side of G.O.A.T.S, but 3 men 2 socks, they're back and they're mad as overtime looks to tick over here. Toxin Socks in on the May, the ice block to keep him healthy, but it's this man, Kuragari. He could be the danger man on the high ground. They're trying to get down the Mercy. The focus fire is there, and she will go down. Jesse, of course, will find that last hit. Who else but Jesse here? Goats now in a spot of trouble on Hollywood. No healers left for the side of Goats as 3 men 2 Socks look to clean them up. It's just Trizzle on the point, but
the
Bob will
opposing-
come through.
That's the
and they get it
biggest
done.
wall I've seen in my life.
Huge wall to keep the Bob off the point here. They get the kills. Bob standing out of range. Just run forward. Bob won't be able to do so. The impetus not there for the robot butler. And 3 men 2 Socks will equalize the series.
What a performance from the DPS. Every DPS had a time to shine in that match, and put on a clinic.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, credit of course to the Jesse as well. It felt like the ball was critical to keeping them in team fights, often finding opening picks, often just creating chaos in the backline that really helped make space for the likes of Kuragari to pop off in a big way. And then of course Toxin Sucks on the May as well, especially at the end there. I think the Torbjorn feels like such an obvious pick in this matchup, right? You pick the Torbjorn, you make it so that Nyan really struggles to find value, force him maybe off that Tracer.
Yeah.
Yes, he's great at other heroes, but the Tracer is really what will dominate you. And if you force him off the Tracer, you make space for the likes of Mole to start contributing on the support, and you don't have to try and lean on a Brig or anything. So it seems so obvious to pick, but that Torbjorn was a stroke of genius from Tox, it feels like.
Absolutely. I feel like the Torbjorn was the turning point. He just denied Nyan his most effective role. Not only because he's so good at it, but also it's just been matched up really well against the hero pools of the opposing team. So yeah, just getting him off that Tracer and stopping, getting stickied every fight by a pulse bomb has really changed the texture and the outlook of these fights. And I mean, look, then we get to see Nyan on the long range heroes, which is always fun as well. Hopefully you can warm up his flicking a little bit. And then show us some nice Ash v Ash or Widow v Widows with
Kuragari, yeah. That it is going to be a test of his flexibility, to be sure. I think we will wait and see how that works out. But it doesn't. That's not to say that the Tracer also can't work against the Torbjorn.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of adjust your playstyle, make sure you're keeping track of where that turret is at all times, and either dealing with it or avoiding it. But it's easier said than done. So often it's just better just to lean on something else. But we will be heading now to Circuit Royale here for map number 3. An interesting map to say the least here. Long sight lines, potential Pharah domination, but good to see Defect that the Pharah abuse not too hard to deal with here for 3 men 2 Socks on map number 2.
Yeah, I see the Torbjorn turret being sort of like a flak cannon, shooting down the Pharah quite a few times.
True, yeah.
Not typically its usage, but if it works, it works. And sometimes you can just put it in the spot where the Pharah can't shoot it before she engages in the fight. And then when she's engaged in the fight, the Torbjorn turret isn't the priority target. You're trying to get rid of the other hit scans and the tanks and things like that. Also seeing a lot of Jesse sort of just swinging up into the air and then taking a few shots.
And shooting her, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it works, I'm going to use that tech. I'll be honest, I haven't tried it much, but
yeah. It seems like throw tech if you're not GM though, right? It feels like something you do and you're like, what the hell is my ball doing? Like floating down like a half-full balloon shooting at a Pharah and not doing much of anything. But Circuit Royale here, I love this map because it's got a pseudo F1 car in a pseudo Monaco. So you know how much that speaks to me on a spiritual level, Defect. But we'll take a look at what speaks to our players here on a spiritual level compositionally. And I think that's going to be an interesting thing to see because we saw 3 men 2 Socks get a better on Hollywood of the compositional rock, paper, scissors to start off, unlike what we saw in Nepal. And that seemed like a key to setting them up on their first point defense on Hollywood especially. So looking at what we see here, Defect, what stands out to you?
I'm hesitant to look at anything that the red team has yet. Yeah. But I do love me a Sigma. This is one of Sigma's best maps. There's a bunch of long linear maps. The enemy team is sort of funneled into an area where you can hit multiple people with your auto attack, and the shield just covers a lot of the space very nicely. Also, there are high grounds, but there's fewer of them for the first 2 points of this map, and you can easily shield off something like a Widow or an Ashe and just make them very ineffective for long durations.
We do see that Widow coming out of Kuragari, and we see the Hanzo from Tox here. So pick potential very, very high here for G.O.A.T.S. So that Sigma Shield going to be very, very nice to keep the team relatively healthy. But that is what you want to see. Jesse gets in there, forces them out of position. Rez will come through. Can he get the shot just over the top? No, he can't. The boop not quick enough to keep the Rez from coming through as Jesse. He's just been a menace in the backline on the ball and will continue to do so. Tox, though, will peak too much there. Will get taken down. Jesse not feeling comfortable. They're going to move back, try and take the Sigma down. Not enough momentum to move him forward, but the shot will come through. We know there's no Rez. It came through onto the Hanzo earlier, so this is a good start for 3-man 2 Socks here. And Jesse on the front lines, on the back lines, everywhere you don't want him to be if you are the G.O.A.T.S squad. Just pulling so much attention from G.O.A.T.S here, and will eventually, unfortunately, will drop Kuragari, but the rest will come through. Parasox going to keep the team up to a full fighting 5 here. Jesse looks to go forward, not finding the movement there, unfortunately for him, as Nyan on the Ashe looks to put the pressure on forward here. Kuragari, though, back alive and immediately pays X-Dragons back, but Trizzle, the angry Ramatra on the front line, punching away, finds both supports here. So while Jesse messes around on the front line, Trizzle shows how it's done in his own backline.
This is very strange 1v4 on both sides.
Yeah.
Where it's just the tanks versus the rest of the team. Seeing, did they just trade? They just saw the both tanks explode at the same time?
No. Tox got the kill on Trizzle.
Alright, well,
Yeah.
it came through in the instant.
Yeah, it was pretty well, they traded in a meta sense, right?
Yeah. In a spiritual sense.
Yeah. So G.O.A.T.S will hold firm here. But they did get a late pick onto Trizzle, so I'm not sure where he is as he comes through. It looks like he is pretty much back in the mix here. Jesse gonna look to get aggressive here. Kuragari did find a shot. Bob gonna be a nuisance to deal with here. Trizzle, he's coming up to the ultimate here, Annihilation. Jesse will drop here, and I think that's probably your clue to get out here. They have taken down the Bob. They can find picks though, I suppose. If they don't really need to commit much here to kind of put the pressure on the side of 3-man 2 Socks.
And just swapping off to the Sigma as well. You know, a more focused game. Which I think, like I said, I like Sigma on this one. I think that's a very solid.
Ooh. They have a lot of ults to work with here now as they come to this next team fight. It is Annihilation has been popped. He's kind of just having to use it defensively. He's taking so much damage. He will get taken down. JC finds the last hit, but the DPS and the Zen putting in so much damage, and now they move forward. The Rock goes through, doesn't find anything. Hindered up as well on the Hanzo as they look to just force their way forward. With the enemy tank down, 3-man 2 Socks, and kind of just move forward, put the pressure on high, and when he comes out, the ultimate goes out. Oh, he's moving across slowly. He actually lives. The healing from Parasox keeping him alive. He even gets the shot up onto X-Dragon's. Mole will drop, but it feels like G.O.A.T under a ton of pressure now. Jesse and the crew moving forward. 3-men, 2 Socks looking to clean things up, but a little bit over aggressive here from Tox on the Cassidy. He will drop, and that's going to allow G.O.A.T to push forward. Once again, Kuragari not able to find the angle here to put the damage in. As the team fight seems like it's never ending here. The shot over the top, not going to find anything, has to take evasive action here because there is an Ashe on the other side here. This man right near Nyan, he is a monster potentially, but the ultimate will come to Gravity Flux over the top, goes down. 2 people die through that, and he will get a few more picks as well. Mercy dropping low, the kills cleaning up. Kill cleaning up coming through. There's a Ramatra on the point, but it seems unlikely that Trizzle will kill everybody, and yeah, Kuragari will find that kill. Oh, and that's going to be that. So a long drawn-out fight, but 3-men 2 Socks come out on top.
Yes, very. I feel like these fights have been very like poke focused, where even if there's a pick going either way and the races don't come through immediately, they still sort of like wait and pick, and there's no follow-up rush, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
which has been very interesting, very slow and deliberate. But I mean, you get to see a lot of good aim in action. So
yeah, absolutely.
No complaints.
Absolutely. Jesse, does he have another ult here? No, sorry, he doesn't. As now they move forward here. Kuragari, he finds a body shot, and that's going to help to secure the kill. Or rather, Tracy will drop instead.
Let's see if we can get that rush going, as promised.
Yeah, they don't really have the squad for it, right? Do they? They've got Bob. Do they choose to throw anything? You wouldn't think so with Jesse down. That should be team fight pretty much over. Oh, Nyan drops though.
Oh,
Oh, yo, Kuragari popping off here.
Kuragari?
Finds both DPS. Nyan brought back to life. We'll throw out Bob here, but Kuragari still in the mix here. They're just going to turn and deal with the Bob. Nice play from them. Needs to be careful though. Kuragari dropping low under pressure, but going to be healed up nicely by Parasox, and that's going to allow the squad to move forward. Jesse finds a pick onto Nyan. Kuragari once again finds Yami. Maybe he's been such a menace in this team fight. He finds four over the course of this team fight, and that's going to be it. 3 men, 2 socks, going to secure a team fight victory. Pete struggling to keep up with Kuragari, popping off at exactly the wrong time for us to get an eye on it.
someone check him PC right now.
Oh.
Yeah, no, very well played and very deadly on the bit. Been impressed. Whereas
Yeah.
the rest of his hero pool has been not as explosive as this.
I guess that's kind of a thing you expect with the Widow, but oh my god, who's back?
Oh,
Who's
that's
back?
Blink.
It's this man, Jan, with the
soft forward right now.
absolutely disgusting tracking. It has to be said, and it's just been total domination from Jan. So I wonder if we'll see that Torp switch once Cass pops the Deadeye here.
Oh, one day I'll have aim like that.
I think that's a fool's errand. As Nyan, I mean, just absolute monster. He finds another pick, forces out the res. Pressure will come through Gravitic Flux, but there's a lamp, so nobody should drop down. As oh, they do find Nyan though. The hinder will come through, whatever that spell is called, that ability. It hinders, that's all that matters. As Trizzle though, the annihilation. I know what this spell's called, and I know what it does on the front lines as well. Dropping low though, under pressure. Good healing though, will keep him healthy here. They're not able to find the kills now. They got a few opening picks, but the annihilation kind of just a combo breaker here for Goats, keeping them in this team fight. Yami maybe dropping though under pressure, but good recovery here from Goats, it has to be said.
Oh, absolutely, and they very much have the ult bank to defend this, whereas not seeing too much from the... Whoa!
Oh, the double kill onto the healer and the DPS there. That's going to be it. The res will come through even, so any kills they got undone here. And this man, the bad boy with the pulse bomb. There's a Reinhardt on the enemy squad, and all that is a big target for a pulse bomb. Oh no, it's not a Reinhardt. Sorry, I'm wrong.
That's a Ramatra, but...
Apologies. Thank you, sir. The
Pulse bomb's a immortality field.
Yeah, immortality field will keep them healthy, but who cares? You're not immortal when faced with Trizzle here. So they pulled that out, and they've got time for another team fight here, but they're losing players in a big staggered fashion. So it's going to be rough, desperate for 3 men, 2 socks to get some more push on second point.
Oh, absolutely, and this is going to be a desperation fight from a 1 ult team, trying to just get a little bit of progress on the 3rd point.
Ooh, Jan will drop early though. Unlikely to be in a spot where he can be rezzed as well. So this is a good start for them. Junker Queen now from Jesse here. It feels like he's not getting enough damage. He wants to contribute here. Bastion ulti will come out from Tox. Where does it go? What is happening? Oh god. The damage comes through. No kills though. And in fact, they're losing players. Ooh, Parasox finds the kill onto Trizzle. That is so key. Pops his ulti as well to keep the team healthy. Parasox coming in clutch for 3 men, 2 socks. One of the socks contributing to the team fight win, and now it's gonna have to be a big overtime push for 3 men, 2 socks to try and get some momentum.
Yeah, the Junker Queen came out, and hopefully her just immense frontline presence can overwhelm Trizzle when he's not in his big boy form. She also is the only ult that's currently available, so I want to see a 4-man. What a stick on that bashing grenade. Bounced off a wall and hit the Mercy. Very impressive.
He has his protractor out, and he will in fact find the kill as well with the icicle here, and the big bad angry Jesse with the rampaging through the Goat squad, and it's gonna find a lot of picks. Nyan, he's gonna have to be a monster here with the pulse bomb. We know how good he is. We know how good he is. He comes in over the top. He finds the stick. He gets it. Oh no! He gets the double on both supports defects. But just a little bit too late. Not something you often say about Tracer.
Yeah. It's, if there was one hero that could touch it, it's the Tracer in the backline.
Yeah.
But sometimes the wall's just perfect.
Sometimes that's true. That's true, yeah.
We've just seen so many clutch walls coming in from Toxin Socks. Traditionally a support player, The Pocket May pick has been paying a lot of dividends in this Pride Cup. He seems to be very comfortable on the hero. I wish we could pull him in for an interview and ask him how much he's been practicing, because these walls have been better than I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, you could always just send him a message as well. Ask him. He could even maybe check his profile. But yeah, no, it's been impressive, and it's been that way for throughout this weekend and this match and last weekend as well. He's been very, very good on those brainier heroes, if I can put it that way. You know, the Sombra, the May, not heroes necessarily that you're relying on your aim. It's more about striking at the right moment or using your abilities to create opportunities for your team.
Yes, so I did take the hint, the very cleverly disguised hint. Quick profile stalk there. And he's Diamond 5, a 31% win rate on May.
Okay, that's pretty bad. I mean, Diamond 5 is great. This is 35% win rate more. That's like not ideal. But I mean, look, he's definitely contributing here. We can say that for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, back on the Tracer. Yeah, absolutely. Neon and Tracer, Kurugari once again on the Widowmaker. It makes sense. It's been so good. Trizzle, he's actually going to be coming in on the Junker Queen here.
Here comes the Tracer. He recalls.
Ooh. They find X-Dragons on the May, not finding as much value on the May as Tox has been able to do, but Trizzle will find Mole. This will come through though, so they're back up to a full fighting 5 here. Great use of the TP there from Tox, but Kurugari finding the picks once again. Trizzle though, moving forward, finds Tox. Kurugari dropping low as well, so the wave now washing over 3 men, 2 socks. The aggression, what is happening? Neon finds 1, 2, 3, count them all. He's gonna find the 4th here potentially. No, not even gonna bother. You're not worth my time, he says to Jesse.
So it's better to leave him alive than I can heal faster and bring him more ult charge.
Yeah.
No, absolute menace on the Tracer, and I feel like, you know, where's that Torbjorn we just talked about before the match?
It's true. It does feel like the Torbjorn is a hot pick here. Oh, Mole dropping low here. They're not finding the front line. Yeah, and in fact will not pay off there. Nyan on the money there, as he's been so much this map. They will get the cap as well, so at this point I think you just look to back up here. I wonder if Kurugari perhaps doesn't switch off. Yes, his Widowmaker's been popping off, but never mind. Shut up, you stupid idiot. What do you know? Nothing.
Look, if you just win all the 1v1s, then
just shoot the Tracer in the face.
Yeah. And even with the Widow nerfs, it's still a one-shot at any range.
Yeah, true.
A whole stack of ults coming into this fight. Hopefully we can see a better ult utilization from the 3 minute 2 slots. We seem to have the swap off of the tank, which was their best ult.
Ooh, yeah, but now he's on what he feels is the better attack. Oh, Kurugari once again finds an opening pictures on the backline. Pulse Bomb, not going to find anything here. Kurugari says, come at me, bro. I've got it covered. And Jesse, he's just going to hold down the fort here on the point. So, with Trizzle dropping early, the fight kind of just ends pretty much straight away.
Oh, yeah. The better tank's the one who's still alive.
Yeah.
Hero pick or the ult charge.
Can't argue with that here. They're going to pop the Valk here, an anti-heal over the top as well from Trizzle, and immediately they find the picks here. Such a quick team fight from G.O.A.T.S here. It's, you know, reminiscent of G.O.A.T.S, it has to be said. The small rush style of play as surviving quite a long time there, the rest, but eventually Jesse will draw.
Yeah, if your tank and both your DPS just win their 1v1s at the same time, like, there's not much you can do as one of the remaining players on the other team.
Yeah. Kurugari, he knows where Trizzle is here. He's got his ultimate as well. He's probably going to pop it now when they look to come in here. Will do so. Looking for picks. He knows where they are, but they're under a lot of pressure here. The Blizzard, though, looking good. Does drop though, but Nyan comes in to even things up here. Pulse Bomb at the ready. Zen also pops his out. I'm gonna find, just gonna keep the team healthier, but I mean, what else? But the Pulse Bomb will find the pick. Mo will drop as well. Once again, last man standing, Jesse. The team just evaporating around him here. Unfortunately, Kurugari getting pressured down. Your Trizzle finds the last hit, but Nyan was really the one doing all the damage. At 4 minutes left on the clock here. Doesn't feel like it's been that one-sided, but the timer tells a different story.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the momentum that was built up in the last match sort of transferred to the opposing attacking team, where you don't see the
True, yeah.
defenders really slowing down the cart much. But 4 minutes on the clock could be a very one-sided map if they manage to push it all the way.
Could be, especially if Nyan has his way here. Drizzle almost up to another rampage. They're going to start with the Mei ult. He puts it behind them and they back up into it. Perfect play from Tox there. The Blizzard absolutely expertly placed, and it's going to allow them to pick off the DPS and the core. Nyan, he's going to try and get out on the Tracer. Will do so effectively. So G.O.A.T.S just losing 2 there, but a clean team fight from 3 men 2 socks.
Yeah, and a very effective ult usage, which is a big improvement over what we've seen before.
Yeah.
So, pretty happy with the character growth we're seeing in the course of one match.
Oh, Drizzle dropping low, does end up going down
Boostio?
as well. Boostio, this is a blast from the past year. Yami maybe it's like, I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to bother. I'm just getting out of here. And actually gets taken down as well. Great work from Jesse, as has been so typical of his play so far.
I imagine that Nano was meant for the Drizzle trying to push in.
True, yeah.
And to prevent him from being as exploded as he was. But big stick.
Big
Nice.
stick. Oh, great immortality field, going to keep him healthy, but that does mean they're all taking a lot of damage here. Just on the front line, making no mistakes when dealing with the opposing Mei, and just falling apart now on the side of 3 men 2 socks in this team fight. Yeah, just move forward, get on the point, or get out. Kurigari will not be able to get out, and that's going to be that. So G.O.A.T.S sitting pretty here.
Yeah, I think it's hard to get out versus a Tracer like Nyan.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
gonna chase you to the spawn doors. A big ult advantage also for the team on G.O.A.T.S side, who have the much more effective ults. I've seen a bit of ult delay coming from Mole on the Zen. Hopefully he can use it quite effectively in this upcoming fight.
Ooh,
Big.
Drizzle dropping very early there. No res in play for the time being, so he's going to have to come back from spawn. Mortality field goes down, feeling like there's some danger around. Perhaps that pulse bomb. Nyanda track down Parasox, finds a shot. So great work from 3 men 2 socks, and this is an important time to hold, because if they can hold it to under a minute, they've got a chance here.
I don't think that applies on full escort maps.
Oh damn, you're right. I apologize.
It's fine, I also get confused all the time. That's why I was unsure when I asked. Big pick on the tank again. Drizzle's like running in and dying first 3 fights in a row.
I wonder if it's the Zenyatta. Great work from Jesse. He yoinks in dragons. He's in position now. Mole will find that pick. I think it's the Discord or from Mole that Drizzle is not accounting for. He's just getting mowed down by the combined damage from 3 men 2 socks. So a very, very strong defense from 3 men 2 socks so far, and a lot of ults. This last fight could be explosive, I think.
Yes, Zen getting a lot of value. All right, Nano going on to the right target.
And the rampage goes through. That's a lot of damage. That was absolutely perfectly executed here. Lots of players going down. Jesse finds 1 pick, and that's less about this fight and more about the recontest here. 44 seconds on the clock. They'll be able to get close towards point here, but there's time to mount the last-ditch effort here for 3 men 2 socks with plenty of ults on the board.
Yeah, this is going to be a big Q fight, and hopefully we can see some good times here. Specifically looking at that Zen ult to counter whatever comes out of the Mei here.
Pops it nice and early. Immortality field overlapped as well, so this is a bit of a difficult fight, but the High Noon comes out. Deadeye not finding anything here. He's looking for Yami maybe to pop out. He does. He gets 2! An extra one, a bonus. Doesn't quite get the stick on the Tracer there, but that is more than enough to secure them this team fight win. 9 seconds on the clock. We'll probably see a switch to the ball. There it is, Tracer. Drizzle will want to get back in for the touch. Another great wall there, Nyan. He gets the touch, but it's very late, and that's going to be Drizzle isolated up here, frozen up here. They just need to get that pick. Can anyone else get in here? The Blizzard into the sky here. There it comes down.
Overlapping Venn diagrams.
It freezes everybody. Venn diagram, as you say, but there's so many players. The Immortality field is perfect as well. The window goes up here, and 3 men 2 socks. It's going to take a lot for them to lose this from G.O.A.T.S, and it's not going to be done. 3 men 2 socks. And what feels like a bit of an upset, securing themselves the lead here in this best of 5.
Wow. Name a more iconic duo. Nyan versus the...
Yeah, it's so true.
Touch.
It's so true. On this map especially, right?
Yeah.
It seems like that exact same situation played out twice.
It did. It was wonderful. But I mean, it just speaks to game knowledge and positioning, where both players know the correct play to do. Also very impressed with Parasox there at the end, coming in clutch.
Yeah.
Not falling into the Venn diagram. Perfectly placed Immortality Field.
Yeah.
Finding that wall just to keep the team happy and healthy through the last fight. So big ups. Seeing a lot of clutch plays coming from every single player. I think I can name every single player and every single team that did something cool in all of these games. And that's wonderful to see.
Absolutely.
Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to pick a player of the match at the end of this because everyone stepped up in specific situations. And honestly, though, we said countering Trizzle's Tracer was the key, right? It was one of the keys to dealing with this GOAT squad, and they've managed to do that. You know, we were leaning on the Torbjorn, saying that's probably a pick you can rely on, but the May's been just as good. The pressure just from the squad has been very good. They've done a much better job of not losing players in the backline. And that's been key to 3-man 2 Sox' success, but also for me, Defect, I think just better ult economy, better ult usage in general.
Yes, absolutely, and that was one of the big sort of pain points that we saw in the earlier two maps. But you know, they've pulled together and they've really. I don't know if it's a leadership adjustment that they've made, maybe better call-outs, but they've definitely learned and seeing much more effective ult usage. That's just securing them more fights.
Yeah.
Also, the Cassidy, I saw a lot more caution from Nine on the Tracer.
True.
The sticky grenade being used better, because we've seen the Cassidy try to counter the Tracer in the earlier maps to not great effect. I don't know if there was maybe a little bit of coaching happening, you know, in between rounds to say like, all right, just don't use it early, because when it goes on cooldown, that pulse bomb comes out.
Yeah. Credit as well, the Immortality Field we've mentioned, but countering the Pulse Bomb effectively on a number of occasions as well. Now, we will be heading to New Queen Street here, our push map, heading into map 4. Interesting map type. I think we're all still kind of coming, let me speak for myself, still kind of coming to terms with what the right way to play this map type is. It's very, very easy to get dominated by flankers. So Sun Yan might have a bit of an easier time on New Queen Street of putting that pressure on, but we'll have to wait and see here as we head into map 4.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm hoping to see some Orisa and Junker Queen action here. These maps are very like low ground centric and tend to move quite a bit where the fights happen throughout the course of the map. So very keen to see a lot of brawling happening, and then, you know, how will 3-man 2 Sox react to Nyan if there's so many flanks and little hidey holes and pressure pulse bombs. A pulse bomb behind every flank, you know.
Yeah, it does feel like he should be able to, but you know, on the other side, it's difficult to get back to your team or peak for healing and stuff like that. You can kind of isolate yourself, but it feels like Nyan will kind of thrive in that, and he will start here on the Tracer. Kurigari says, sorry boys, I've had enough, I'm out of here. One thing I also wanted to mention is that 11 a.m. is very early in the morning for us gamers. So a lot of these players are probably still waking up, you know, waiting for the monster energy to hit the bloodstream or the caffeine or whatever it is. They're kind of waiting. They're still warming up, you know. It's cold in Cape Town at the moment as well.
Oh yeah, I'm freezing over here, and I had to move out my heater and all the things in the background.
Oh yeah.
Very sad. But as you say, I feel like, are you calling me out? I have a monster energy sitting right here. And
dude, I inhaled one before this. I don't feel too bad.
Already, preparing for these early 11.
You gotta. That's the thing. Defect. As a connoisseur of energy drink consumption, you have to time when you consume your monster energy so that you peak at the right moment. You know, that the taurine hits the cells at the correct moment, and you've got the energy. And you've got to pace yourself. You know, you don't want to. I didn't actually inhale the Monster Energy drink. I paced it so that you get a good energy curve over the next 2 or so hours. You know,
you want
there's a trick. There's a key to this. Exactly.
So where do you want the peak of the curve to be? Like final map, or
you kind of want to have your peak be quite low energy wise. You want to maintain a fairly high consistent peak. You actually want to peak around map 3 or 4, just in case you don't get to a map 5, and you let the game power you to that high energy level into map 5, if you get what I'm saying. Because if you're going to map 5, you have a good game in your hands.
Yeah, grandmaster of energy consumption.
You know, Monster, I'm always open to sponsors.
All right, let's get into this fight here with Dunker Queen Mirrors.
Yeah.
Seeing much more flanky DPS, as we said, from Nyan and from X-Dragon. Versus the high damage direct brawl comp from Junkrat and Ash.
X-Dragon will find that opening pick, and Nyan will find another and another and another. I'm sure it never ends when you've got Nyan in your backline. The pain just continues forever. And look how aggressively they were positioned on the side of 3-man 2 Socks, and it does not pay off for them. So the Junker Mirror, this time going to go the way of Trizzle, but it does feel like it's more to do with what his DPS was able to do in the enemy backline.
Yeah, and we see the Ash swap for a CAS, which I think is good. I don't know how I feel about this Junkrat. I don't think the Junkrat Tracer matchup is very favorable for Tox and Socks.
It does, yeah. Well, I mean, it's the kind of thing about Junkrat, right? Something can happen, and all of a sudden the Tracer's dead, and it's like, oh god, that sucks ass. But we'll have to wait and see if Tox can be the one to make that something happen. There was a stick there. It didn't find any kills, so presumably there was a Suzu or something that came out, kept the team healthy, and Yan, in fact, will go down. Great work from Kurigari once again, but Trizzle will find the pick. Once again, it's Parasox dropping earlier. The Lucio not paying off for the red team, but they're looking to get aggressive here. The sound barrier will come through here and push the team of Goats forward here. They look to clean up this rush squad. Time for the reckoning. It seemed like it did not reckoning. It unreckoned, as it turns out. No, it was 3-man 2 Socks. Apologies, we went through. Didn't find any kills or damage, I believe, purged by the Suzu, and now they can just move forward. Goats look to clean things up here. It seems unlikely that Jesse's going to be able to do this all by himself, but he is buying time here. But the reckoning goes the other way. Everyone hit by the anti-heal. There's even a Kitsune rush for good measure. So much damage coming through to not much avail, but it is going to help them cap this first point.
Yeah, a lot of ults with no opportunity to use them from the 3-man 2 Socks team.
Yeah,
Been taking like, 3v5s and 2v5s for stretched out over the course of what would have been probably 2 or 3 team fights. But I appreciate the ult investment from Goats to secure that forward cap.
Oh, Nyan, I think he was
Sorry,
looking for Tox in the backline there, but Tox says, no sir, I've got your number here, and he finds that kill. Damage Kurigai finds the headshot, but Tox has gone down now, but they are moving forward. They're getting picks. Trizzle trips over a trap there to his own demise, and he actually calls for a pause. He says that is not allowed, apparently.
Okay. He's claiming a ping.
Oh yeah, ping. Oh yeah, we've all heard that.
We've all been there. Yeah, this is a mental health pause.
Yeah, it's a lore pause, right? Junker Queen getting killed by Junkrat. That's
yeah. I take the screenshot and post it in the lore channel.
Exactly. He's like fully immersed himself in the Junker Queen lifestyle.
I mean, you have to. That's the only way you can really climb.
You're a D&D guy, right? So you know, all about role playing and how that really affects your ability to engage.
Yes, no, absolutely. And I feel like if you're all these DPS players swapping to Junker Queen because she suddenly got giga buffed, I feel like they've been one tricking one hero for too long, and DPS players they're not as used to playing the same hero over and over as us tank and support players.
Yeah, true.
They very much feel attached to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Defect, looking at the state of play right now, right? 3-man 2 Socks in big trouble here. Yes, they won that team fight and they're continuing to get picks here, but they've got a long way to go. In fact, they haven't even capped the guy. No, he's coming back. He's coming back. So yeah, they gonna have to stop the forward spawn here and then push through and win probably 2 or so team fights on the chop to even things out.
Yeah, they're quite a bit behind, and honestly, I might not be happy yet. But if you are Goat, you can just call it good enough and just defend your progress from here.
You absolutely can, but not if they're going to get picks like this. There's a Symmetra out as well, countering out dragons here. Can they find kills here? Cart does need to move forward, but they're just going to focus on getting the kills for now, and we'll get the cart moving eventually. But that's step 1 here of a couple of steps program for 3-man 2 Socks.
yeah, the next step in this program would be to get that cap, which I believe there'll be enough time for Goats to
I
try
think
and
it'll be
defend
tight.
this. No, I think Goats will be able to defend it.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're seeing a Pulse Bomb coming up, a Dragon Blade at the ready, a beat to try and counter something like a JC ult. No, this is setting up to be a good one.
Yeah, no steroid for the Dragon Blade here. COWZA has gone out, so we'll see the Rampage go through here. Big anti-heal on 2 players. Keo dropping low, Trizzle dropping low. Trizzle goes down. In fact, Keo will get sniped with the Blade. Gracie, a better Blade than the Dragon Blade as X-Dragons finds nothing with his. We'll probably see a couple of switches here for G.O.A.T.S, I suspect. Not for the time being, actually. But this is perfect from 3 men to socks. Exactly what they need to do.
I want to point out this MVP turret that was under the umbrella symbol.
Oh, yeah. It killed him twice.
Yeah, and it slowed down the Genji during the Dragon Blade. Stopped him from securing kills.
Oh, and it just killed Nyan as well. He was
still
coming
going
up on the sim, and it finds the
still
kill
going.
here. Kurigari is getting more and more kills. Give that that turret a contract. Ow, please.
Player MVP
There he
of the
is.
match
There
gonna
he is,
be
the man
this-
of the hour.
this
Screenshot
turret.
that.
Absolutely. Oh. But now we're seeing an empty ult bank from the side of 2 men 3 socks. Well, closest there is the
They've just
push.
they've just given up on the push. It seems like. Ah, there we go.
Well, I mean, they secured the lead, which is
Oh, that's true. Yeah. There's still plenty of time, of course, and
they get
and the man to drop the perfect kill to get with no mercy in play, and now they can just look to move forward, clean up. They've taken down Yami maybe as well, and they've switched on here. They found another gear, a poor start to a new Queen Street for 3 men 2 socks, but they put some shoes on, and now they're stomping all over the G.O.A.T squad. Oh, have we lost the thing? Oh, there we are.
I've returned. Very
Welcome
strange.
back.
Thank you. Yes, I blame Afrios personally.
Seems like a pretty safe bet here. As safe as Jesse moving forward and finding picks. Nyan drops, he's on the cast now. It's not working out. Trizzle taken down as well. We might see a complete cap here, a complete role reversal here. Jesse on the front line, steamrolling the G.O.A.T squad here. They're not used to getting dominated like this. The top of Group A versus the top of Group B. I don't know if that's true. I kind of made that up, but I'm hoping it's true here. But Jesse, what is true? The ultimate truth is that Jesse is an absolute monster on every hero he plays, and he's rampaging through the G.O.A.T squad. He finds a kill, he finds another kill, he ends the series, and that will be that. 3 men 2 socks, 3-1 victory over G.O.A.T here. It feels like an upset, but I think the only thing that's upset are all the other teams in the tournament watching this match.
Oh yeah, if these are the 2 teams you're going to go up against, like if you're winning your match and you have to play against G.O.A.T, I wouldn't be happy either.
Oh yeah, that is a rough one.
Oh, absolutely. And shall we pick our MVP?
Go for it.
Can I unironically pick the turret? I feel like
You can pick the turret, the sim turret.
I want to pick this turret.
Basically won them the series, right? Kind of.
Yeah, I think it won them, like-
really narrow down your perspective.
Yeah, I mean that specific turret under the Aftak
Yeah.
was very, very good. What on earth? But in all seriousness, though, it had I want to give it to Nyan, even though he did it well. If I had to give it to a blue team player, a G.O.A.T player, I would give it to Nyan. Otherwise, it will probably have to be JC, which is so solid on the front line.
It's uncontroversial to say the least.
Yeah, the Junker Queen rushes, especially on that last map where no one can take cover because he just presses shift, and with the speed boost and extra health, he just pushes the shotgun all the way up into your face and gets a big kill there. MVP, I feel, for my money, JC.
I couldn't agree more. I think, you know me, I like to pick a player on the winning team to get MVP rather. And absolutely, Jesse stood out in a huge way. I don't want to say he dominated Trizzle, because he definitely didn't dominate him, but he did get the better of him over the course of those 4 games. But credit where it's due, he had a backline that was contributing in a massive way. Tox finding big brain plays. We spoke about that sim turret, obviously, the biggest of big brain plays. the Torbjorn turret from before, just picking the Torbjorn in general, worth, and his May walls were so good on so many occasions. We saw how many times he personally stopped Nyan from getting into touch the point on Circuit Royale. He personally got great blizzards on point or in team fights, and that if Jesse wasn't excelling so much, I'd definitely look at Tox here. And then credit to the supports, of course. It's hard to see the effect they're making here in an Overwatch 2 match, but you can tell by the way Jesse's able to play with so much confidence that he's got the backline to really keep him healthy. Then on the other side, Trizzle, Nyan, whatever. You've seen it. You know how the game goes, but unfortunately, in a 5 versus 5, it felt like 3 main 2 socks were just better today.
Yeah, absolutely. And they really pulled together after having some rough fight strategies. That was nowhere to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to be that, guys, for our first match of just 2 today, unfortunately, in the Pride Cup this weekend. We will be... Who's next? Do we know who's next? Match-wise? LGBTQ Times versus Lunar Colony Enjoys. So Blur and the boys versus a team of 5 other people, presumably with players on them.
Shout out to YouTube.
Yeah, producer here coming in clutch, and that will be at 2 p.m. So in an hour and a half-ish, you can expect to see that. No stream at 6, unfortunately. There will be matches happening then, but after that you guys can tune in again tomorrow at 10, where we'll have a ton of matches, and we'll wrap up the Pride Cup here a little bit belated. As I said at the beginning of this, the Pride month is over, but we'll extend the Pride month by a couple of days here to sort out our Pride Cup here. Defect, it's been a pleasure. Any parting words of wisdom before we sign off?
No, it's been a pleasure, absolutely. And that's a bit rusty, but we make do.
No, I thought it was perfectly adequate. So we'll see you again tomorrow. You and I will be on again for the first game, and that promises to be exciting no matter who's there. But as I said, guys, 2 p.m. is where we will be back. If you want to keep up with everything happening in South African Overwatch, you can hang out here on the Twitch channel at ZA Overwatch. I mean, twitch.tv/ZA Overwatch. You can head over to YouTube to catch the VODs of all the matches that happen throughout all of the tournaments that COWZA puts on. That's youtube.com/channels/competitive Overwatch South Africa, I think, at Overwatch ZA. youtube.com/@OverwatchZA, right? That's where you can get all the VODs. And that's key because you really can go there and get all the VODs from now all the way up until the 80K tournament in 2019, Pride Cups in the past. Anything you want to see, you can see on there. And to keep up to date with everything happening from now into the future, you can follow us on Twitter at ZA Overwatch as well. My name has been Sun Phoenix. His name has been Defect, and we'll see you again in about an hour and a half.